Welcome to the Voice of Oneness, your call to awaken. This show is your call to awaken to the truth of your being through the teachings of the Voice of Oneness, spoken by Amara. On this show, you will receive spiritual guidance and the teachings of oneness from the heart of spirit directly to your heart, along with the tools and techniques to apply these teachings to your day-to-day life. Tuning in each week, you will grow in a deeper, richer understanding of your true nature as teachings are offered about universal spiritual laws that govern our lives. You will learn the right use and application of these laws to achieve the richest life from the perspective of experiencing abundance in all areas of your life. Amara Bonet is a renowned psychic, spiritual teacher, coach, energy healer, mystic, and gifted visionary who taps into the higher realms to join with the vast collective of source energy. Now, your host of Voice of Oneness, Amara Bonet.
Hey, welcome to the Voice of Oneness, your call to awaken podcast here on WLTK Talk Radio. Whether you're a seasoned explorer of the cosmic realms or just beginning to dip your toes in to the cosmic waters, you are invited to join with us tonight on a cosmic conversation and embark on a thrilling adventure of self-discovery, enlightenment, and exploration of the vast cosmic tapestry that surrounds us all. Get ready to expand your mind, awaken your soul, and open yourself to the infinite possibilities of the universe. I am Amara Bonet, your host and presenter of the Voice of Oneness. So the title of this show is Open to Your Cosmic Possibilities. And I want to begin with a quote from Alan Watts, philosopher. What you are basically, deep down, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself. That's Alan Watts. The fabric and existence of the structure of existence itself. What we are, we talk about this on each show. We are the universe experiencing itself through us, as us. We are all expressions of the infinite. We are one. So as we begin this show, and I want to comment on, this is something that we go over and over and over, because these are concepts. And if you've been, as we talked about dipping your toes in the water, if you've been very well immersed in any type of spiritual teachings, more than likely you've come across the concept of oneness. More than likely you've heard teachings of oneness. You understand oneness perhaps to be the interconnectedness of all of life in the field. And many times we could spend a good number of years, many, and I know people, 30, 40 years, and it's a concept, but it didn't go deeper. It didn't become the reality yet. It's still in the process. So it's still in the process. In order to become a reality, we must take it in. We must start a practice. We must start to work with it and have our own personal, direct experience. Direct experience is what it's all about. When we're opening up to the possibilities, potentials, we can hear what are possibilities and potentials. And then we go, oh, that sounds good. I'd like to try that. I'm gonna try that. And say it's meditation and you've never meditated before. And you're like, this really sounds good. I think I'm gonna try that. And then once you enter into that practice, and if you stay with it, you begin to experience the reality now that you are creating around and in that practice. You've expanded your consciousness and you've shifted your reality. For prior to the practice, it wasn't in your reality. So it was a potential, it's a possibility, and you opened up to it. So as we go through the teachings tonight, I want to place that at the forefront of the consciousness of which we are working with here, that potentials and possibilities are that which surround us in each and every moment. And when we become aware of them, then we must choose them, and then we bring it into our experience, and that's how we grow. So as we look at cosmic possibilities, open to the cosmic possibilities, everything emerged out of the same source. The cosmos of love, joy, wisdom, creativity, infinite intelligence. These are also the way of which we may define God. God is not a man with a white beard floating on a cloud, observing the mere humans and sending down a thunderbolt whenever we've done something that's considered to be a misbehavior. That doesn't exist. That may be a belief for some, but it doesn't exist. It's not what is in the true nature. When I say doesn't exist, the true nature of reality. We emerged from the cosmic sea, and as such, we are not separate from the cosmos, of which is rich with the idea of infinite possibilities. Therefore, we are a cosmic possibility. We are a cosmic possibility, for we emerged from the sea of cosmic possibilities. We have come forth, we emerged. So many times we say we were created in the likeness and image of God. And that holds truth to it. But if we want to go a little bit deeper, we can say, we emerged. We emerged from the field. We emerged. We came forth. We are that consciousness, that infinite intelligence that is choosing to release the cosmic potential of placing itself in human form to experience itself. For some people, this is something you've heard before. For others, it may be the first time. And for others, it may be something that just doesn't resonate. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Just let it be. Let it just fall to the side. And choose what does resonate. I always suggest that. There's nothing forced here. There's no one way. We all approach life through our own individual awareness and our own vibratory frequency, and how we experience and process life is unique to our personalities. Even if we are what one would say awakened, there is no mold that we step into and go, okay, let's press this down, and you are now awakened, and this is what you look like, this is what you speak like, this is what you believe, this is what you do. That's not how it works. It works like everything else. We come to it with our own awareness, and we process in our own unique ways. We open up as we are ready to. And if we are not, if something doesn't feel right, if we don't feel safe, then we don't open to it. So we decide how open we are or not, and that's the way it is to be. So we are cosmic possibilities. For thousands of years, religions have been teaching that we are one, and we've emerged from the one source. No matter what religion we look into, we all have oneness as what we'll call a perennial thread. And I just want to cite a few examples here from religion and then look to science to see so we'll kind of merge the science and spirituality together to see that they're very much joining. They're very much in a unified understanding and expression. They're not opposed. They're pretty unified. So let's look at the first is we are one. Everything in the universe is within. And that's by Rumi, a 13th century mystic and Sufi poet. So in the 13th century, this poet, the Sufi poet says, we are one. Everything is within us. Then we go to whoever knows himself, knows his Lord. That's Muhammad, founder of Islam. Father, you and I are one, Jesus. Look inside, all living things possess the Buddha nature. That's from the Lotus Sutra. God dwells in you as you, from the Bhagavad Gita. Heaven, earth, and humans are the same. Confucianism. That's a mouthful. Now look to science for the scientific perspective. So let's look at what the scientific perspective is. And when we're looking at that, we're not looking more towards the Newtonian physics. We're looking into the field of quantum physics. Consciousness is said to exist independently of the physical brain. All of our current evidence in the field of quantum physics prove that consciousness can exist outside of the body and continues after death. It exists outside of the body and continues after death. So in that, when I say in the beginning, personal experience is what we all want to have, and that's how we grow, personal experience. So a brief story of, and I've told it before, of a personal experience I had is I was in my, I say mid-20s, and I was playing a game called Trivial Pursuit with my mother, father, and my husband. And I got the question, it was my turn, and I got the question, what is the real name of this Pele, the soccer player? And without any thought to it, the name rolled off my lips, just boom, right out. And my mother, I always say, is very competitive. I didn't get any of her competitive genes. She's extremely competitive in sports, very competitive. So she almost lunged over the table at me to strangle me. She told me I was a cheater. There was no way I could possibly have known that name. And on one hand, she's correct. There's no way I could have known that name. I was not a follower of Pele. I was not interested in sports. I had no idea what his real name. I thought his real name was Pele. I did not know. But the unified field in consciousness knew. And as that came, and I'm playing it, I tapped into that field, and the name was given to me in that moment, seamlessly. When we tap in and we tune in, it's not like, oh, I'm getting we type with one finger and we're getting each letter. No, it's in an instant. It's seamless. Boom, the information's there. There's no lapse in time. It's boom. Whenever I'm tapping in and I'm doing a reading for someone, there's no lapse in time. Boom, the information is there. I ask the question, I receive the answer. And that's the way it is for all of us when we realize who we are and that we are cosmic possibilities. And we're all to tap in to the cosmos, to the unified field, to the source, the infinite intelligence, to God, to receive the information of which we are desiring. We go from beyond our physical mind, that which we hold in our mind, that which we've studied, that which we filed away in our memory, and we go beyond that, we tap into the cosmic energy. and we receive from Spirit the information that we need. So then we can say, in truth, everything is always available to us at any time. All we need to do is tap in. And tapping in is a process, and we'll discuss that on another show. We'll talk about tuning in and tapping in and how we can go deeper. But tonight, I just want to work on the concept that we are cosmic possibilities. Because when we create this strong foundation and we stand upon it with a deep understanding and a reverence for life, then we are in a position to go further and open up to receive the information. Courtney, nice to see you on too. Hello, hello. Thank you for letting me know that you're there. Sometimes it's I'm talking to space. So when we are able to do that, we can go deeper. So let's look once again from the scientific perspective. According to John Hagelin, he's a world-renowned quantum physicist. He says at the basis of all life's diversity, there is unity. At the basis, you and I are one. Unity at the basis of mind and matter is consciousness. Universal consciousness. So with the deep understanding that it is not created by the brain, it's not purely an outcome of molecular chemical processes in the brain, but it is fundamental in nature. It is the very core of nature we call the unified field. And that's from John Hagelin, PhD, quantum physicist. I think he's a nuclear physicist as well. Letting us know that through his experience, his knowledge in the field of quantum physics, this is the conclusion of which he's reached. We are one with the unified field. Amit Goswami, PhD, he is a theoretical nuclear physicist, states consciousness can enter quantum physics to collapse those possibilities into actuality only if consciousness is transcendent. It can go beyond, only if consciousness is transcendent. Consciousness is unitive. Unity, one consciousness only, and consciousness is us. We are that consciousness. This is a fairly spiritual view of the world. But he's saying we are that consciousness. There's one consciousness. We are from that sea of consciousness. We've emerged. Just like we have the sea, the ocean, and the waves emerge from the ocean. They're not divided from it. They're not separate from it. They are that ocean. The ocean water, it emerges as a wave. We emerge from consciousness. We come into form. We are within a physical body, having a physical experience. We are the consciousness having the experience. Ernest Holmes, New Thought writer and founder of religious science, stated, "Within our nature is a reality which knows no difference between itself and the great self. It is the indwelling I which Jesus referred to as the Father indwelling him. Since this real I must be perfect and can produce only perfect effects, it follows that perfect cause inheres not alone in the divine, but also in all nature. All of nature. The relationship between the life principle and that which it sustains is self-evidently one unity. One unity. Cosmic possibilities. We are from the cosmos, the sea of cosmic possibilities. We are cosmic beings of light, and by our very nature, our birthright, are the cosmic possibilities which are endless in nature. Endless. Our very life experience is for the purpose of experiencing the cosmic possibilities. Herein is where the presence of limitation becomes true to the expression. So how we express that energy. Remember, we are energy. Everything is energy. Everything holds consciousness. And our universe functions on vibration. When one sees themselves as a separate, limited being, then that is the frequency of vibratory resonance one is emitting to the field of endless possibilities. So once I claim myself, once I identify myself as a separate being, now I've claimed it. Now I've limited the field of possibilities because I believe that I'm separate from it. There's the field, and then I've separated from the field. But when we want to experience the cosmic possibilities of that which we are, we need to join in consciousness with the field, understanding that there's no separation between our awareness and the field. We are the cosmic possibilities. The field of endless possibilities, yet the experience is limited by the frequency of a limited expression of consciousness of which we are holding. We're expressing it. If the same separate self, if the same separate self were to become aware of the true nature as unlimited potentials, we become aware that we are and hold unlimited potentials. That is the vibrational frequency and resonance of unlimited possibilities, and thus then is the reality. I change my perspective. I realize that I hold unlimited potentials. Nothing in this life, nothing that I see, nothing out there in the world holds power over one who is in realization that they are one with the field, that they hold unlimited potentials. Fear dissolves at that point. Why have fear? What's there to fear? You hold the potential to experience that which you call forth, and you exercise that. You go into that, you go deep into the practice of that. That becomes your reality. And as I was writing this, I wrote this in a process called automatic writing. It's a stream of consciousness just flows through the pen onto the pad and produces this notes. The thought came to me. I remember sitting around the table with a group of friends, and one of the people at the table was a very super intelligent being, and he was studying at that time with some scientists, and they were in the field of when you put on the glasses, virtual reality glasses. And he was trying to tell the rest of us that this was serious and we really needed to listen to what he had to say, and that you could put on these glasses and you could enter into a totally different life, a totally different reality. And now those glasses, I believe, exist, but at that time they were in the development stages. And he was telling us that it was blowing his mind. It was mind-blowing what could take place. So when one puts on those glasses now, that's now in the field of different possibilities. It's the same thing when you play those video games. You enter a different field of possibilities. You become a role in that game, and you take yourself from just that limited sense, and you've allowed yourself, because it makes sense to you, because you believe it's just a game, that you can do it, and it has an on and off button. But if we were to allow ourselves to enter the game of which we are pursuing the infinite possibilities of life, because life is infinite intelligence, we emerged from the field of infinite intelligence. Therefore, we are the infinite intelligence and may tune into that at any point of which we set our focus there, and we take the steps to tune in with our own understanding and deep belief and faith that we are that. Then we begin to experience life on a whole different playing field. We have unlimited potentials, unlimited possibilities. So that was the story of the virtual reality glasses. If the same separate self were to become aware of their true nature as unlimited potentials and choose to express as a being of unlimited potentials, that is the vibrational frequency of resonance and unlimited possibilities, then become that reality, like putting on those glasses. Then that's the reality. Aha, we've opened up to the cosmic possibility of that which we are. Very interesting to look at the unlimited potentials of energy. The unlimited potentials of energy. And the thought came to mind when I was writing this. I'm like, I have known people that have been diagnosed and given a sentence that this diagnosis, you're not going to live past 6 months. And 6 years later, they're enjoying a wonderful life. They changed the condition. They did however they went around their process to open up to the unlimited possibilities and potentials that the body can heal itself, and therefore they shifted the reality. So I went, yeah. And I know not anything as severe as that, but in my own, made me giggle, because in my own life experience, I had fallen down. I was walking my dog. I tripped over a stone. I fell flat onto the earth with a thud. And the result of that is my friend took me to the urgent care center, because I had, they took x-rays, and they said that the ice cream had fallen off the cone. Ice cream has fallen off the cone. That was their way of expressing to me that I had dislocated my shoulder in a rather severe way. So they took the x-rays at the urgent care, and the doctor on duty came in, and I noticed he was a little flustered. And he said, okay, he says, this is the situation. He said, you've dislocated your shoulder, and pretty severe, and we need to pop it back in, but I don't have any pain medication to give you, and it's a very painful process, I believe. He says, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to call the other physician who's on call and see what he thinks. So he leaves the room, and I sit there immediately and go into my cosmic potentials, and I say, okay, God, what is it I am to do here? And the message I got back immediately was follow the treatment plan. I said, follow the treatment plan? Okay, I'm going to see what that means, see what that comes out to be. So the doctor then walks back in the room. He said he held a conference with the other physician, and they both decided I should go to the emergency room at the hospital, local hospital, because they could treat me better. So they handed me my little cassette CD of the film that they took of my arm and sent me on my way to the emergency room. That was the treatment plan, because he even said the words treatment plan. He says, this is your treatment plan. I went, oh, okay, so I'm going to follow this because it's my treatment plan. That was my message, follow the treatment plan. So I went to the hospital. I handed them my CD I had of the x-ray. They said, no, we can't use that one. We take our own. So they took me in. They took another x-ray, and then they said the same thing. The ice cream has fallen off the cone, and you have 3 breaks. So we need to put the dislocated shoulder back in place, and then they were going to send me to an orthopedic surgeon to decide whether or not I needed surgery for the breaks. So they said, this is the treatment plan. Once again, treatment plan. And he said, we're going to give you a shot of morphine, and then we're going to do an MRI, and we're going to see how those breaks look on the MRI. And then we're going to decide, use that information to put your arm back in place. So I said, okay. So they gave me the shot, which I usually don't do any shots of anything ever, but it was the treatment plan. So they took me in, they did the scan, it comes back in, and then we're sent to the waiting room. The doctor then comes out, and he calls myself, and I'm with my friend. So I said, come with me. So she came with me. And he stood there before us, and he looked at us, and he said, I don't know how to say this, but there is no medical explanation for how your arm is anatomically correct. It just went back where it needed to perfectly, and it's anatomically correct. He says, I can't tell you what happened. I can't explain it to you. There's no medical explanation for it. But now the treatment plan has changed, and we're going to send you into the room. They're going to put your arm in a sling, and you're going to go see the orthopedic surgeon the next day. And that was that. So that was what happened. That was outside of the realm of possibilities for the medical staff that was treating me at the hospital. But it didn't preclude the healing from taking place, because it was outside of the possibilities of which they were working with it, their paradigm, their frame of reference. I held that as a possibility. My friend, who's a healer, who was with me, was sending me healing energy at the time, held it as a possibility. People who were praying for me held it as a possibility. See? So unlimited possibilities when we are open to them. Had I shut down, had I been very frightened, had I been, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen, this is going to be so painful, blah, 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 I would have shut myself off to the potential. But because I remained open, and the others that were with me were open, it made way, it made that sacred space so that it could occur. Now, I cannot say exactly what happened, how it returned to its anatomically correct position. I just knew it was spirit directed. Perhaps as they lied me down on the table to take the MRI, something happened. I don't know. But what I do know is that it was spirit directed. Such a rush of the best goosebumps. Catherine Jean, thank you. Yeah. So it's to know that, we are the cosmic possibilities. And as we're moving through life, we are life experiencing itself as us, through us, with us at all times. When we are open to it, we get to share this unbelievable experience. But when we are not open, we are closed, and we believe that we're just a small self, then it's okay, experience the small self. We can do that. We can do that for as long as we want to do that. That's okay. But if we want to go beyond, now we're asking to have fun. And we all, no matter who we are, no matter where we stand within our physical world, it doesn't matter how much fame or fortune we have. It doesn't matter how much education we have. It doesn't matter our age. None of that matters because we're playing then in the field of infinite possibilities. Infinite, no limit. We limit ourselves. We limit ourselves by believing, oh, I can't do that. I'm too old, or I missed the boat. That was an opportunity that I could have done and I didn't, therefore it's gone. Well, it is gone in the reference that it won't happen in the same way that it would have when it came around the first time. But it does not mean that you don't get to experience it anew now. You get to experience it with who you're bringing to it, which is a new you. So you're holding a new energy, the new vibration. You get to experience it a different way. So never sell yourself short or any other. If we can be open to the cosmic possibilities, the life we live is one that's filled with joy. Even in a world where the outside, we're looking, and when we look out, we go, oh my gosh, there's so many things going on outside. And we can get easily drawn in, magnetically drawn in to the events and circumstances that are happening. And we say, okay, those events and circumstances are happening in the reality that's in a vibrational match to what's happening. As long as we don't become the vibrational match to it, we can observe it as happening, understand it's part of the experiencing, understand that within it are unlimited potentials for growth. So when we understand that, we go, unlimited potentials exist here. Let's see it within our mind as, and then open up to the unlimited potentials and choose as peace, as warmth, as love, as kindness. We are part of the field, and we are putting that energy out into the field. We are igniting that spark. We are helping to build that as the reality. And the more of us that do it, the stronger it becomes. So always know, no matter how things appear, we are infinite possibilities, and we can call forth a new set of circumstances to create a reality at any point. There's always hope. Always, always, always hope. And things change in an instant. The human mind limits the human mind limits. God mind sets free. So the human mind limits us because it only knows what it knows. It works on memory. It knows what has come before. It does not know the possibilities, the potentials. That's the scary unknown. God mind is freeing. The God mind, when we tap into that, it is the unlimited potentials. And it says to us, come and experience. The God mind, unlimited potentials exist when one is able to tap into the knowledge beyond the limited mind's ability. To go beyond the limited sensorium, our senses, our limited senses, the physical body, and experience the human mind, is to become what has been termed a superhuman. Because we go beyond the senses. We are able to create, we're able to do things that are outside of the accepted thought. Just like the healing of my arm went outside of what was known to be a possibility by the physicians. Each life experience holds within it the expression of cosmic potential, energy expressed in the unified field of existence. Everything we do, every moment, we are expressing in the unified field. We are expressing from this potentials, the unlimited potentials. We just may be choosing from a small portion of what's available because our beliefs hold us and keep us small. This is the time, as we say, of the Great Awakening. Great Awakening. There's the unleashing of the unlimited potentials in the consciousness of each individual who claims their divinity, who opens to the possibilities and begins. You could begin by just dipping your toes in and say, let me just try this. Let me experiment. Let me see how this works. Instead of accepting mediocrity, instead of accepting what we're told by supposed leaders who are to lead us to the best possible outcomes, which we know is false. Because it has to be. Because they don't have the power and never have had the power. But we're just awakening to that fact. Oh my gosh, they don't have the power. Who does? We do. We each do. And we have that power to hold dominion over our own energetic expression. We call that sovereign. We are responsible for our own energy. We learn to create in a unified field. We open up to the presence of the unlimited intelligence of which exists within us. It's been told to us for thousands of years through the many religions, through the ancient rishis in India, and from there forward throughout all religions is the perennial thread. All philosophers, the perennial thread. We are one. We are unlimited potential. So now we've reached the point in the show where we're going to take a break to hear from our sponsors. And I invite you to stay with me. There's more to come. Thank you.
Want to see your video here? Sponsor WLTK DB Talk Radio and watch us make that happen. With your paid sponsorship of $80, you receive a professional produced audio, video, and banner placement on our station. Not only does your sponsorship air during our live shows, but also replayed on our podcast and heard by hundreds of like-minded people. Visit WLTKDB.com to get started and find out just how hard we work to get you noticed.
Thank you. Welcome back for staying with me. So, speaking about the level of conscious awareness that vibrates at a potential of realized expression, we call that our life. So it's conscious awareness vibrating at a potential of realized expression. That we call our life. Once we do that, we define this expression as our life. We're speaking and thinking in limited terms. We're thinking of a separate self, my life. Say, wait a minute. What's really here? My life. This is an expression of energy in this body, having this experience of choice. But I am behind that unlimited potential. I am of the infinite source. So I get to experience what it's like to have a physical body. I get to experience what it's like to tap into the infinite potentials. I get to experience what it's like to close myself off from that. I get to experience what it's like to say, no, I don't believe any of it. I believe it's me and my family, and I've got to protect me and my family, and I've got to play by the rules, and everything has to happen this way because this is the way it's happened with my parents and my grandparents and my ancestors, and this is the way it needs to be. And I say, okay, go and do. Go and do. But as we go and do, we always want to hold in our mind, so we're best served, to reflect and to say, okay, I'm doing it this way. How does it feel? What are my experiences? Am I suffering in any way? Am I experiencing joy? Am I happy? Am I experiencing love? Am I receiving it and am I giving it? And if the answer in any of those areas is no, then say, okay, well, do I want to experience love? Do I want to be free from suffering? Do I want to experience joy? And if the answer is yes, then say, okay, well, then there are possibilities that exist of which I have yet to explore. Let me open up to that. Let me begin to open up to that. And I say to the universe, okay, I know, and many people shout this out. I know there's more. I know there's more. There's got to be more than this limited life. There's got to be. I just know we all have it inside of us. We all have that connection inside. The oneness is present. Inside of us is the presence of the eternal. It's the presence of God inside of us. It's not with a bullhorn saying, hey, do my way or no way. It's not telling us we have to live a certain way. It's saying, I'm here with you. Let's live as you choose. But if we choose to connect, now we're open to possibilities. And then they start to arise. Many times people will tell stories of they just had a dream, or they had a sense that there was more to life, and they just wanted to know that there was more, or they wanted to connect with spirit, or they wanted to know that their loved one is okay on the other side. And then all of a sudden they hear a conversation about it as they're sitting at a coffee shop, and the table next to them, two people are talking, and they're talking about communicating with the other side. And they're, oh my gosh, they're having a conversation. So therefore there's a possibility that exists. And then the next thing you know, a book comes along, or a show like this, or something will be drawn in, because they're drawing it in. We're drawing it in magnetically because we're magnetic beings. Energetically, the vibration, the resonance, we're drawing it in. We draw it into our lives. And then we begin to experience different possibilities. And then we choose. And as we choose, then we have direct experience of it. And then we may choose to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Catherine Jean says, I've had so many synchronizations and signs that no one has left. They're simply everywhere and nowhere. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are right on, spot on, spot on. So you're having synchronicities. Things are happening. You're seeing signs. And those signs and synchronicities are answers to the questions of which you're holding within. In order to receive the sign or experience the synchronicity, you had to have asked in an inquisitive way, is there more? Are they still here? Show me a sign. I want to know. Because what you're doing is you're building the muscle. You're building that spiritual muscle then. You're saying, I know there's more. There's more to this life, and I want to expand. And this is the way I'm beginning to expand. And as we do that, we go deeper and deeper and deeper. We are cosmic possibilities. And we can open to that. And we can experience that. Quantum physics, when I talked about the quantum physics, and I said, what was this, John Hegelin? He said that we are a unified field. That consciousness, that proven consciousness exists beyond the brain, beyond beyond. It's beyond. So there is that unified field there. We're not limited to what we hold inside of our skull. We're not limited to our personal reference of experiences that we've had. If we even limit ourselves to that, then we don't grow beyond. We want our world to be that which is expansive. We want to live in the expansive world. Life, that which created us, we can call it God, is life. Life is always affirming itself. It is always in the process of affirming. Life affirms life. The God mind sets free. It's unlimited potentials. It's always expanding, always growing. When we stop growing, when we stop expanding, we don't feel well. We develop all sorts of things that go on in our world, in our emotional body, in our physical body, in our mental body, and in our spiritual body. And that must be because it's life pushing us, saying, no, come on, come on, come on, come on. Move forward, move forward, move forward. Tune in. I got you. You're asking to be saved. Saved. It's here. The presence is here. Join with it. Join with it and experience it more deeply. More deeply. To life, I feel my mom. To life, your mom feels you. We're all in the field, all in a web, all connected. As the current goes through the field, it's a thought. Electric current goes through the field. You're thinking of your mom. Boom. Your mom has not left the field. She's left the physical, but has not left the field, because the field is beyond the physical. This is the metaphysical. It's beyond. So that energy goes directly to her, and she feels it and sends that back to you in the form of love. So you may receive it if you're open. You may receive it as a temperature change in the room. Many times a slight brush against your cheek. Many times a symbol, a sign. Some people it's pennies. Some people it's something, a piece of music that you shared in life. But whatever it is, it's the exact right item or circumstance to key you into, boom, I know that was my mom. I know that is my mom. And that's how it happens. And I've seen it many times where somebody, they just were uncertain that life continued. And they lost a spouse or a child or a mother or a father or a friend. And then I just want to know so much. And they say, okay, I'm going to open to the possibility. And as soon as they do that, boom, they receive. Whether it be a dream, a sign, a symbol, it's always given. Because when we open to the field opens to us. So we open, the field opens to us. So now it's to be open to cosmic possibilities. The separate self is actually part of the one whole, expressing a unique, individualized expression of energy while holding within it the endless possibilities, the endless potentials of the whole. So no limitations exist in truth. Limitations are part of the separate mind, the identity of the self as a separate expression and not part of the whole. Once we open to accept that we are part of the whole, we start experiencing the whole. We start experiencing that which we are. And that's part of our great awakening. So now, to end tonight, I want to just share a piece from everybody's new friend, Chat GPT. So many people are going on to ChatGPT because it's AI, and they think that AI is superhuman. It's not. It can do things very quickly. It knows what it knows because it's like the mind, it's been programmed. It can only spit out what's put in. So here I'm going to ask GPT a question just for the fun of it. I said, "What is a superhuman?" And GPT responded, typically refer to an individual who possesses extraordinary or exceptional abilities that go beyond what is considered normal for human beings. The concept of superhumans is associated with various forms of fiction, including comic books, movies, and literature. In fictional contexts, superhumans are depicted as having enhanced physical attributes such as strength, speed, agility, endurance, or heightened senses. They may also possess extraordinary mental abilities such as telepathy, telekinesis, or advanced intelligence. Examples of well-known superhuman characters include Superman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, and X-Men. In some cases, the term superhuman is also used in non-fictional contexts to describe individuals who have achieved exceptional feats or abilities through rigorous training, extraordinary dedication, or the use of advanced technologies. For example, an athlete who consistently breaks records or accomplishes remarkable physical feats may be referred to as a superhuman in a figurative sense. And ChatGPT ends this way. It is important to note that while the concept of superhumans is fascinating and entertaining in fictional context, such abilities and powers do not exist in reality. Human beings, as we understand them today, have limitations and capabilities that are defined by our biological and physiological makeup. End. Period. So that is not aligned with the truth of that which we are. That is aligned with the truths of those that programmed this AI chat GPT. Those that program this chat GPT do not want us to realize our potentials. That which programmed this wants to keep us very much aligned with limited abilities. Look to the field of quantum physics. Explore. Look to the field of epigenetics. Explore. Look to the field of that which you have emerged from. Infinite possibilities. My own direct experience through all of my life has revealed that to me. And each day, I experience more and more. I work with people in doing readings and soul healings, and I receive information that I could not possibly have known. I could not. There's no way. I receive all the information that's precise and exactly what needs to be given for the experience of the individual, so that they have before them the gift, should they choose to receive it and open to the potentials of which they were given. We are unlimited. So may we each journey forward and explore, go deeper in to the sea of cosmic potentials, knowing that You are a cosmic potential. And so it is. Thank you for joining me. And next week, I will bring more information regarding cosmic possibilities and how to enter into the practice, along with a guided meditation for the purpose of going deeper within. Thank you and good night.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTKDB.com.